welcome to the second half of KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. Yes, I'm Phyllis Jones. I'm still the host, and I'm still the guest. Am I finished giving us homework to do? Of course not. No, there's a lot of work we need to do. A whole bunch of work we need to do. Okay, you know, we've tackled our cities. We've tackled Killeen. We tackled Heights. We tackled Copper's Cove. So guess who we're going to tag now? Now we got to move up to the other people. You know, those people that sit in the state, we got to go up to them. And so that's what we're going to rest at. First of all, you need to be reminded, you need to remember, you need to put it in your brain, your kids' brain, everybody else's brain, that September 1st, no texting while driving. Remember that. Because you know what? September 1st, somebody going to get a ticket for texting and driving. So we need to stop now. So if you do text and drive, you should stop right now. Because if you stop now, then you won't have a problem with September rolling in with looking up and down on your phone, looking on the highway, looking down, looking up and down. You won't have that problem anymore. So start today. You know, go to text, go to anti-texting group. But remember, September 1st, no texting while driving. You know, our legislators, they passed that, but they have a special session, and it starts July 15th. And it will end in, well, special sessions have a 10-day window, then they can continue, keep it up. Now, the texting bill, it did pass, but some of our legislators feel that there's enough teeth in that bill. So it's going to be one of the ones, it's not going to be brought back through to be voted on because it was already voted on. But what can happen is they bring it back to add some more teeth to the bill. What they mean by teeth to the bill is, as we know, they think it's not tough enough. It needs to be a little harder, a little harsher. The fine needs to be. So they're going to bring that back up during that time period to be rediscussed and add some teeth to it. So be careful of that. But also, if you don't text and drive, you won't have to worry about it at all. So I'm going to say it again. Today, you know, those who love to do it, start practicing today of just driving. Just driving. Forget the whole thing. Just drive. Just drive and leave your phone over there. And somebody texts you, just, you know, leave it over there. Pull on, or if you got to answer it, pull off the highway, pull off the street, pull off somewhere and answer it and then get back. But by all means, remember, you know, that. And you know, the first day, police are going to be out hot and heavy just to see who they can catch doing that. So remember that. Also, there's one bill, and I talked about it last year, and we got some people still getting caught up in it. So I'm gonna tell you again. Child support. The law says any male or female that's 6 months or more behind in child support will not be able to register their vehicle. Reason why I'm saying a lot of people are not listening to it, because a lot of I'll say NAACPs and LULAC chapters and been getting calls from people saying they're not letting me renew my vehicle due to some child support, and they're arguing with that person. Well, that person had nothing to do with that. That law became in effect last September 1st. So we still have people who don't know it yet. So if you know anybody who, you know, in the rear a little bit, let them know 6 months in the rear, you will not be able to register your car in the state of Texas. You can't show that person at the desk who you talking to, who you trying to register your car. You can't show him or her, oh, look, this is what, no. They have to go off the list that the state gave them. So you have to go back to the Attorney General and fix it and filter it back down. But please remember that, because people are catching a lot of people, and their biggest thing, I didn't know. True enough, was it a big article in the paper? No. Should it have been? Yes, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Just like the texting. Should it be a big article in the paper? Yes. Will it be? No. And some people might say it's a setup to make you, to catch you or whatever, but it's not going to be a big article saying no texting and driving. So please remember that, so that we will be safe. Now, as we know, I told you that we're going to have a special session. The only reason to have a special session is the governor and the lieutenant governor, they personally can have a bill or some bill that they want to pass. They personally want these things to pass. And they know that the other part is that the legislators don't want it to pass. So that's when he has the right, or the lieutenant governor has the right, to call a special session and say, we are coming back. Now, you might say, I don't really care about the special session. Well, let me tell you why you should. Because your legislator makes more money for the special session. He does. Because we got to pay him, because he got to come back. Because by right, they're off in the summer. They're off in the summer. So this is costing us, a lot of money, a whole lot of money, to do a special session only because two people want something passed. That's what it really boils down to. And you know what? It goes back to the craziness. And the craziness is what I'm saying is, do you all realize that we're going to spend well over, I'll say $500,000 for the special session I'm going to say just, but it was originally done because of the bathroom bill. Now, I know everybody thought we was finished with it. No, we're not. We're not finished with the bathroom bill. We thought everybody assumed that we talked about it enough, we raised about it enough that it was going to go away. Sorry. And I'll let you know what happened before, and I'll say it again. The last day of the session, which was Labor Day weekend, the last day of the session, Joe Strauss, the Speaker of the House, he stated, we're finished, we're going home, we're finished, we're done, we're going home, that's it, see y'all next session. I mean, he basically said goodbye. He was good. We finished. 10 minutes later, if anybody paid attention, Dan Patrick, your lieutenant governor, outranks the Speaker of the House. He outranks him. So he said, no, we're not finished. No, we're not. I want the bathroom bill to pass. So I'm going to call a special session. So he gets with the governor, and the governor agrees. We're going to call a special session. Just for one bill. Now, what happens with that? They can't call it back for just one bill. So what they'll do is load it up with bills that some of everybody will like. So if there's a bill that you like, that this group of people like, he's going to add that on there. If there's a bill that these people over here like, he's going to add one of them over. So what he's doing is it's 10 bills they're going to be looking at. So what it is a warm fuzzy for other people to say, oh, well, he brought it up. He's going to bring up something about education. He's going to bring up something about health. Not to say they're going to pass. That's not it. What he built it is everybody has a warm fuzzy to care about. So now you're not so upset about the special session because he's going to add all these little warm fuzzies in there. And you say, well, my bill might just make it. My bill might just get passed. So don't get happy if you see yours as part of it on there that's going to be discussed. You need to realize and understand. Now, Joe Strauss said he would not pass the bathroom bill because he didn't want to be sued due to an injury of a child going into the other bathroom. That's what Joe Strauss said. He didn't want Texas to be sued because some kid got injured in another bathroom. That's his reasoning behind it. His reasoning behind it, I can understand. That's his reasoning, but our speaker, our lieutenant governor, no, he wants it to pass. So you got to figure somewhere in there, if we're thinking correctly, there's some money in there. There's got to be money in there. It has to be money in that bill for him, not for the bill itself, for him. So the question would be, what special interest group has paid enough for his election? Because remember, he is an elected official also. How many people paid to put him back in office again that want this bill passed? Now, mind you, in other states, they've passed the bathroom bill and the states have lost money. They lose money because you have conventions that will not come to a city that has the anybody go in anybody's bathroom. You have a whole bunch of conventions that we're not coming to your state anymore. We're not coming. So you have one state, which is North Carolina. They've lost over $800,000 so far this year from having that bill. So they might bring it back to the table again. But Texas has a lot of conventions all over. So now it's going to end up being it's not going to be none less than this bathroom bill is going to leave from being children's status to now it's going to be a money thing, and the money will be, if you pass it, we're not coming to your state. Your state will lose this money, or you don't pass it, and we will have conventions in your state, and we will give you money. So it's going to leave from where people think it is to the hands of the money, because remember, it takes money to run all these things. It takes money. So the bathroom bill that we're thinking of is this bill of where the boys and the girls will be able to go into the bathroom of the gender that they want to be. We're thinking on that level, but they're thinking on the money level. Now, Joe Strauss, like I said, he's thinking on level, I don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued. And I can understand that, because as we know, elementary kids, their brains haven't formed enough yet. They don't have that governor part of the brain that says, you know what, I'm not going to pick on him or her for coming in here. They are going to do it. That part of their brain hasn't developed yet, so they are going to do it. And they can be some mean little vicious short people. And so I can understand what he's saying about the being sued part. I understand that. But what I think is a waste is that we're paying money to go back into session for mainly one thing. One. That can cause so much problems in a school and for the school period. But we're going back for one issue and one issue only. I think that's a waste of money. Actually, I do. I think it's a waste of money, because that money could have been used for something else. It could have been tagged somewhere else. They could have gave education some of the money back that Texas took when they were short. Some of that money for the special session we're paying for could have been used for a number of things. But instead, we're using it for that. Now, you didn't hear them say they're gonna fix Texas's health care bill. We didn't hear that, and that's across the board thing. We didn't hear that. We didn't hear that part, because you remember, even though the current occupant, they can have a health care bill, but you all know that each state can form their own too. So even though there's one nationally, each state can have their own health care bill geared toward their people. But just think how much money we just wasted. We will be wasting on a special session when it can go for health care. Think about that. When it can go for education. Just think about where that money could go rather than where it's going. So it is time for us to wake up and shake our heads and get all the little cobwebs out. And it's time for us to start reacting. And it's reacting the same way. Same way when I said you email your city council and your city manager. Same way you can email your lieutenant governor, your speaker of the house, and your governor. You got to remember, the most powerful person in the state government is your lieutenant governor. He has the most powerful position in your whole state. Not the governor. The lieutenant governor has the most power. He does. They carry it very well. And if you can even go to Dan Patrick's site, and I would like for you too, and not join his group, but join in so you can get his emails. And he sends out his opinions a lot, and me and him go back and forth on some of his opinions, because I am that one. Because some of them don't make sense. I need him to understand and explain them. And he's now, I'll give him one good part. He'll email you back. He really will. He emails you back, but first they check to see if you're a registered voter. That's another thing that people need to remember. If you call in any elected official and they ask you what your name is, it's not to be nosy. It really isn't. It's not because they looking up your background. No, they want to know if you're a registered voter. That's what the bottom line is. If you're a registered voter, I need to answer him back. If he's not a registered voter, I'm not going to answer him. What for? He can't vote for me, can't vote for nobody, so I'm not going to answer him back, so they're not going to call you back. They really aren't. So those are some of the things that we need to do. We need to gather and get ourselves back together again, and we need to use the power that we already have in 2017. Go to, Facebook. And once again, they all have a Facebook page. So you can Facebook, email, text them, call them, something, but let your voice be heard. It's too many of us that just sit around and we vote. We actually vote, but we vote and then we don't use a voice. So, you know, if you're going to vote, but you're not going to ever raise your voice to say, hey, this is wrong, then why are we voting? You know, we have the power of the vote. Yes, we do. But we also have the power of saying we don't like this, or what's going on really. We need to use that, our voices, and we need to use our vote, and we need to use every system that we have to reach people. We need to do that, because the more we don't, the more complacent we become, the more likely laws and bills will be passed that we can't stand. And they'll pass them, and we sitting there trying to figure out what happened. Well, it happened because you didn't do nothing about it. It happened because you told your friends about it, but you didn't say nothing about it. It happened because on Facebook, you argue with it for a whole hour with people, but you didn't contact the person to do anything about it. So what I'm saying on today, we need to, you know, get up, shake the cobwebs out, and we need to take back our city government and our state government. We need to take it back. We got to take it back. And remember, your first control is your local. So we need to take back the city council, take back the mayor. And what I mean by take it back is quit loosening those reins. Pull those reins a little bit. Say, hey, no. We need to do that. We let them know that we're watching. Because you know what? They pay attention to us. They pay attention to the fact that we're not calling them. They pay attention to all that. When they go into their meeting, they say, well, no one's called me about this bill, so it's okay. And they'll say that. They'll surely will say, nobody called me. So when you don't call them and something crazy passed, it's part of our fault too, because we didn't call them. We didn't. Learn who your legislator is. Find out who that person is, and that's easy to find out. Find out who it is and call them. If they have an email mailing list, get on it. Get on it. And remember, once again, they work for us. We do not work for them. But we need to do that and take that control and take back our, like I said, our city government, take back our state government. We need to start taking things back, because we've been giving it away for far too long. And for far too long, they all been doing whatever they want to, because we've said, I trust you. Sure, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and do that. No. We need to quit doing that. That's not a good thing. It's not working, and we're catching the bad back. We're catching the bad back end of all those things happening. And I would not ask you to do something that I don't do. So, and most of you know me. You know I don't mind. I don't mind. I'll carve out time to do that. I'll make time to do that. You know, I'm going to, because it's us, and it's also teaching our kids. You know, when our kids see us not doing anything about it, they grew up and guess what they do? Same thing. They don't do nothing about it either. They're going to say, well, you know, my mother didn't do nothing. My dad, they didn't do nothing about it. They never said anything. So I'm not going to say it. Oops. Now we got another problem, because they're going to follow what you did and follow what you said. Because you think they're not paying attention. No, they're going to follow exactly what you did and do the same thing. You don't vote. You might have kids grow up, they don't vote either. You might say, you need to go vote. Well, you didn't, and you're stuck. There's no explanation. So we need to teach our kids to start writing, our legislators and our council people. We need to start as young. High school, they need to learn. Start them there. Teach them. Have them study it, because it's about their life. You know, our state legislators set the policies on college tuition, whether they can raise it, whether they keep it, how they need to do it. Is the 10% rule good, or need to be less to the 8%? Your state legislators regulate that, not your college and universities. That's not their job. They don't. They might submit the paperwork that say, hey, listen, we need to raise this rate right here. We need to raise our fees. And it's put to a vote. So your universities, that's not their, they don't make that final choice. It's your legislators that make their choice to say, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Y'all can, yeah, go ahead. This year, the college fees and university fees will be raised by $500. Excuse me. They vote on it, and it's done. It's done. Unless it's a private college. Now, if it's a private college university, they don't receive any state funds. They can do what they want to do because they don't get any funds. But the ones that do, nope. So that's, once again, they're the ones in control of that. the Texas scholarship, they're in control of that. So, and if not enough kids apply for these scholarships, they're gonna take it away. The Hazelwood scholarship for military and their families, not enough kids using it, guess what? It goes away. The scholarship for the simple fact you're born in Texas, don't use it. If enough people don't use it, they're not gonna put no money in there, and it's gonna go away. And we're gonna be looking for it, and it'll be our fault that it's gone because we're not utilizing what we already have. So for this past hour, what I want you to do is to go back and take action. That's it, really, actuality. Go back and take some action. Stop talking about it, actually do it. You don't have free time? Yes, you do. The time that you're just sitting, looking at, I'll say once again, television, you got time to do it. That down minute you got between a meeting, you got time to do it. So there's always time to do it. We just need to carve it out, make it done, make it a priority, and actually do it. Because remember, we're supposed to leave a place in better shape than it was when we found it. Well, if we keep letting things go on the way they're going on, we're leaving it in a worse shape than it was when we found it. So get up, email, text, Facebook, your city government and your state government. Let them know how you feel. Let them know what you want them to say. Don't ask them, can they? This is what I want you to say. This is what I want you to do. And remember that, once again, they work for us. We don't work for them. So I want to thank you for listening to KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. I'm Phyllis Jones, and you know I have to tell you, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. Talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.